All right, greetings to you guys. It's a beautiful Monday morning. I hope you're having a good time. It's a beautiful day here where I am, nice and sunny. It was a little bit chilly in the morning, but it's picking up now in terms of warmth. So just want to say hi to whoever is going to join us on this call, wherever you're going to join us from, whether you'll be live. If you do join us as a live, I will see you popping up. All right, let me just activate that. I always forget because I don't see the comments if I don't do what I'm about to do now. I don't know whether that's what is supposed to happen all the time. All right, there we go. So now I'll be able to see who joins us, and I don't have to mention you by name, or I do. Hi, greetings to you. It's a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, feel the fear anyway, and go ahead and do it all the same. What are we talking about here? We really want to have a balanced view because there's a lot of fear going around. Even now, it's been a couple of months now since we've been with the pandemic, but we are hearing all sorts of things. Depends on who you are listening to, what is magnified in your ears at the end of the day. You know what? There's many reasons why we should be fearful. There's also many reasons why we should be bold and courageous. So we need to have a balanced view of this. All right. So what are we talking about? There's obviously the situation that we are in calls for some, not terror as such, but for people to have a balanced fear, a fear that says, you know what, if I go outside the gate without a mask, I'm putting myself at risk. A fear that says if I don't social distance properly, if I don't wash my hands adequately, that is a healthy fear, and you need to have that. All right, in order for you to know. But if you only have that fear and you don't gather the facts of what you can do to protect yourself, you might find yourself being paranoid at the end of the day. So we want to have a balanced view of knowing the facts of what it is that we can do in order for us to continue living in the middle of all this that is going on around us. Science is giving us, it's unfolding gradually, as people are studying how the whole, virus and the whole disease transmits and how it goes with different individuals and so on. But you know what? The basic facts that we have is just be sensible when you're going outside, put on the correct PPE. We all now have personal protective equipment. Even it's not only for those who are working in the mines and the industries, but it's also now for all of us at home. Well, we used to have our PPE as mothers, the apron in the kitchen, the oven gloves, for holding hot things and pots and things like that. So all those are things, that make a difference in our lives. So be sensible. I have that healthy fear that says, I need to know what to do in order for me to go forward. Because fear that is based on ignorance, because a person is not willing to learn, that is a fear that is unhealthy. Because it will keep you stuck and you will not have a way forward until you get out of yourself. It's important to know that, acknowledge that you do have the apprehension, you do have the fear, you do have the reservations and about what is going on, but learn what needs to be done for you to be able to continue to live, for you to continue to be able to socialize. All right. So wash your hands, sanitize, social distance, put on your masks. When you're coming back from outside, do the necessary precautions that are needed, and you're going to be relatively safe. There are no 100% guarantees in anything. Even with the common flu, we used to boost our immunity with, vitamins and doing all sorts of things, but we still caught the flu anyway. So at the end of the day, it's you taking the necessary precautions such that you don't say to yourself, if only I had done this, right, I would not be in the situation that I'm in. So that is it. And then number two, people have fear of the future. Right now, there's a lot of unpredictability. There has always been unpredictability of the future. It's just that now it's more pronounced than what it was before. So a lot of people, they have no idea. They are not so sure as to what is going to happen, post-COVID, or if COVID continues to be a challenge for us. So what we need to do, is understand that we cannot predict the future. None of us have ever been able to predict the future. But guess what? We create the future every single day, every single moment. When you make a decision, when you are deciding the kind of mindset that you want to have, you are creating the future that you have. Right? We have no guarantee that tomorrow we are going to wake up. But what I do today, when I wake up tomorrow, or should I wake up tomorrow, is going to determine the kind of tomorrow that I'm going to have. So let's not worry about the future. What we need to focus on is to look at the present, understand the present right now. Right? Remember when we were growing up as little kids, our parents carried us screaming and whatever, refusing, we didn't want to go to school, but they knew for us what was important. Right, for us to be able to get that education. For us, people have learned skills, in order for them to continue to survive, in order for them to continue to be productive, do what needs to be done now. Look at whatever is going on right now and say to yourself, what can I do which is within my power to do? Because many of us, we spend so much energy projecting into the future. Projecting into the future is not going to, yes, projecting for purposes of planning, to say this is what I want, all things being equal, this is what I want, and now going back and reflecting and saying, what do I need to do in order for me to get that which I want? All right, so essentially this has been the formula from time immemorial. It's not something that is applying specifically to the time that we are living in now. It's always worked that way. Know what you want and find out what you need to do, and do it so that you get what it is that you are looking for. So things have not changed. The dynamics have not changed. Whether it's in your spiritual life, it's in your relationships, it's in your business, it's in your capacity to earn, everything. Just look at what is going on right now and tell yourself, I have no power over the future, but I have no predictive power in terms of to say I can be clairvoyant and predict what is going to happen, but I can design the future that I want today by doing those things that I have influence over in order for me to be able to get or create the future that I'm looking for. The third fear that people have, is the fear of change. There's a lot of changes that have taken place in our lives due to COVID, due to other things that have nothing to do with COVID. All right. So at the end of the day, really, it's not COVID that has brought about change. Change has always been happening in our lives. But what is important is for us to realize that whatever is going on, change is the constant in life. Right? Every day we are growing older, we are having grandchildren, we are having, we meet new people, we reconstruct our dreams, all that is change. So what is important is understand what has changed, right? Many of us, we are looking at the pandemic as the change. But there are other things that we need to split and, peel off the layers and say, for me specifically, what has this situation changed right now? And face the facts of what has changed in your life based on what is going on right now. And then once you have identified that, right, you need to think through what you can do in order for you to continue living the quality life that you want in the midst of the change that has taken place for you. Some people right now, I was speaking to somebody in Cape Town who are saying, you know what, I work in a hotel, and now because of all that is going on right now, the company has done everything to keep us in employment, but we are on 50% salary. So your income as a family has changed. You had financial obligations. What are you going to do about it? And the fact that you are being kept and you are in employment, you are going to work for a couple of hours. So, we were just talking, and, eventually she came up with a plan as we were discussing over the phone to say, you know what, these are some of the things that you can be doing in order for you to be able to say, I can solidify the predictability of my future by the things that I am doing today that are going to say, what if I'm not reincorporated into work 100%? What's going to happen? Am I going to mourn and say, I lost my job, now I can't do anything? No. you cannot, right? You have to continue to live, and you've got to adjust, make the necessary adjustments based on what is going on with you. All right, I was chatting to a friend yesterday. She's my Facebook friend as well, so she's gonna see me talking about this, where she's a high-powered woman, who works runs her own businesses and so on. And she's like, how do I even manage to cope to stay at home? I love dressing up and going into the office within my power suit, all those kind of things. All those things have been taken away from us if we are corporate, executives and people like that. And we cannot be able to discharge ourselves the way that we were. You've got to make the adjustments, because at the end of the day, things change, and when things have changed, you just have to make the necessary adjustments. You cannot go back and scream and kick and say, I cannot. At the end of the day, it's not going to serve you. Look at it with a level head. Be realistic about what is there, not realistic to a point of defeating yourself, against being creative, but being realistic in terms of knowing what it is that is going on, that has changed, and what I can do in order for me to continue living a quality life. All right. So just to give you a few pointers on what you can do, for you to be able, to do the things that can be done, which will make that difference in your life. Believe that God has your back. It doesn't matter what is going on. You need that faith. Put God first. I'm a Christian. I don't know what your religion is, but at the end of the day, if you put God first, you know everything that you are doing. You understand that it doesn't matter what the challenges are. God is always in control, and He knows what is best for us. When we consult Him, He gives us the inspiration. He gives us the thought processes that will help us to go from where we are to where we want to go. So first and foremost, put God first and let Him lead in everything that you are doing, and you are going to be okay. But that does not mean, because for some people, I will hasten to add, some people interpret faith in God as in folding my hands and hoping for things to happen. There are things that we can do. There are things that we can do, and if we don't do them, God is not going to descend from heaven and come and do them for us. All right. If you've got a backyard right now, this is the time for you to be working in your garden. Give yourself time to work in your garden. Have vegetables that are growing that you have, the quality of for yourself. Put flowers. Now spring is coming in where we are. We are starting to think about what flowers can I put in the garden that will make my yard beautiful. I'm one person who is not that fussy about those kind of things. I don't know, because maybe I've worked in predominantly rather male dominated fields. So some of these dainty little things like flowers and so on, they were not my kind of thing. But now I'm learning that, and I'm like, wow, God, thank you so much for this challenge that we have, because now I'm getting in touch with my femininity. I'm looking around my area place, and I'm like, I have not been spending a lot of time just nurturing that in myself. There is so much, guys. There is so much that we can do, that can add and enhance the value of our lives, every single day. Then, of course, the process of putting food in the table will never change. You've got to work and produce. That is never going to change, irrespective of whether your boss has said, the company can no longer continue to operate. You now still need to jump out of your skin and think outside the box and think with your feet, as you hit the ground with the reality of the fact that your job is gone. You need to be thinking now to say, what am I going to do in order for me to be able to continue putting the food on the table? Because the formula has not changed. It will never change. We've got to work to put food on the table. We've got to work in order for us to pay the bills. We've got to work to keep a roof over our heads. Now, when the dynamics change such that your employer says, we can no longer keep you, or we can no longer keep the company running, what are you doing yourself? Nobody's going to come with an answer for you. People can suggest all sorts of things to you, right? But if you are closed-minded and you are still looking for a job, tough, my friend, because it's going to be very, very difficult. The recession that will come as a result of what we are going through right now, the wave is yet to hit. So at the end of the day, guys, it's up to us to think on our feet, to hit the ground running with the realities that are surrounding us and do that which needs to be done. Don't let your ego run before you. Your ego is going to tell you, I'm used to putting on my nice suit and going to the office. There may be things that you will need to change in order for you to continue to be a relevant provider for your family. All right, our mothers, our kids not going to school, we've got to make the adjustments to say, how do I accommodate the schooling and also be able to be productive as well? Those of us who are your fathers and mothers at the same time, it's a very big challenge, to be able to balance between mothering, parenting, rather not even mothering, because we are parents. As a single mother, you are a parent. You are everything rolled into one. But you've got to think on your feet. You've just got to say to yourself, I have to make it happen. It doesn't matter what is going on around me. I have got to make it happen. If the company says it's no longer sustainable for them to continue with me in the payroll, I've got to create my own payroll. Create your own payroll, guys, because if you don't think outside the box, if you don't think like that and create your own payroll, you are going to be unpaid. That is the reality. All right, pay yourself, create your own employment. If you cannot create your own employment, who are you expecting to create employment on your behalf? If possible, build yourself, have the mindset of saying, you know what, I'm gonna step out there, create my own employment, and then, if possible, employ somebody else as well with what I will be doing, so that I do this as a service to the community, to say I have built myself up to a point where I'm still able to employ somebody else as well. So keep an open eye for opportunities. Evaluate them. I'm not saying dive for anything that comes to you, but if you refuse to listen to opportunities that are being presented to you, then you are closing yourself out completely, and you will wake up one day and you'll be like, wow, I missed that because I refused to listen. I missed that because I refused to sit down and make an assessment and say, is this for me or is this not for me? That is all that opportunities are asking of you. Opportunities are simply asking, are you willing to give me a chance? And if not, it's okay, I will move on to the next person. That is what opportunity is. All right, so evaluate it and see what it can do for you potentially. Believe in yourself. Believe that you've got the potential to do it. All right, and also, of course, forgive, forget, everything that is wrong that has been done to you, guys. It's an uphill task. But we have to learn to forgive and forget, because if we hold on to those things, we are going to be the bitter ones at the end of the day. Lack of forgiveness is a situation where, we come and we hold on to the pain, hoping that the other person is the one who is going to be punished. That is not how God works. It doesn't matter. We feel the pain, yes. It's a reality that we have to deal with. But at the end of the day, we've got to move on. And of course, forgiveness may not necessarily mean, you being buddies or being pals with the person that you've forgiven. But let go and don't hold yourself off because you are refusing, to move on. It keeps you sane. It keeps you free. The Bible says we are not given a spirit of fear, but we are given a spirit of love and of a sound mind. So there is a soundness of mind when you are not letting fear to rule your life. All right. Work and do what it takes. Don't let your ego lead. Lead by what needs to be done and what can be done with whatever is in your hands. Like Moses, who was given that rod that carried the children of Israel for 40 years through the desert. You've got your rod. Look for your rod. That rod that God has put in your hands, that is what will carry you through to the next level. All right, guys, thank you so much. I've gone on longer than what I thought I was going to, but you know what? I'm really, really passionate about this because I'm seeing a lot of people becoming discouraged, despondent, fearful, becoming unresourceful simply because they are surrounded by an environment that they feel is intimidating them out of creating the lives that they want to have. We don't know how long we have, but we know that every single day that we wake up is an opportunity. Live like the cards are dealt in your favor. Every single day, wake up in the morning and say, the best is yet to come. All right, that is the attitude that will keep us going, irrespective of everything else that is going on around us. All right, thank you so much, guys. If I may just see, all right, I've got my friend Peter all the way from the Netherlands there. How are you? I hope you're still online, but if not, well, thank you so much. Nigiwe, thank you, my sister. Mam Guni there, okay. Well said there, Nomsa Agrimo. Oh, thank you so much, my dear. Mangaliso Mazavani, my brother there, thank you. Tandega. Yes, let's put God first. It's going to happen for us. Noma Temba, thank you so much, Noma, for jumping on. Hi, Costa. Catherine, my daughter. Oh, I didn't realize you were there. All right, thank you so much, guys. God bless you. Have a brilliant day. Come, let's just continue to live. That is all that we have to do. Let's continue to live. All right, thank you so much. And of course, let's do what needs to be done in terms of staying safe. Staying safe does not mean locking ourselves up. It means doing the right thing, which is commensurate with the places that we are going to. All right, thank you so much. Have a brilliant day and God bless you. We'll meet you on the next live.